I couldn't use my phone either. So we're wandering around the streets trying to figure out where to go. We don't know how to ask people for directions. I'm gonna describe our roommate the way that she described herself. She was a self-proclaimed horse girl. She was giving more wolf girl to me on this trip, okay? And this is why. Hi, welcome or welcome back. Today I have another story time for you guys. I'm gonna be telling you guys about a time I went to Quebec for a school field trip in high school and got lost, amongst other things, but we'll get there. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all the things. I always appreciate it. Now, if you look at my shirt here, okay, I know it's not even technically fall yet, but I'm wearing my Having a Meltdown shirt with this little snowman on it. He's so cute because this story takes place in January of 2017. So it just felt fitting. Let's start just from the very beginning. Let me give you all the silly details and then we'll talk about the bus ride there. So in 2017, I was a freshman in high school. I took French in 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. The second we started conjugating things, it lost me. I don't know. It just did. Maybe if I tried to learn French again now, I'd have a better understanding of it, but it completely lost me. And I actually almost stopped taking French my freshman year. Because of that, I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna push through on this one. But then I found out that we had this field trip halfway through the year, and I was like, no, I wanna go on that. So I kept taking French. So the day that we went to Quebec, like the day that we took the bus there, was actually my 15th birthday. So that was very fun. And I spent this trip with one of my best friends at the time. Okay, we're gonna call her Lily. We have not talked about her here yet. So we spent this trip together. We roomed together, which we will come back to the room situation in a moment. But she and I were together this whole trip. There isn't really much else to say about the bus ride except for the fact that it was where I discovered Poppy. 2017, guys, all right? I don't know how long she had been like going viral for, but I had heard about Poppy a little bit, like YouTube channel Poppy. Okay, not like artist Poppy that we have nowadays. But I do remember just watching a bunch of her videos on the bus ride. Poppy and Quebec will always be connected for me now. Now we're gonna talk about the room situation that I mentioned seconds ago, mere moments ago. So we get to our hotel, which was in Quebec City. We kind of split our time between places around like Quebec City and then Old Quebec. Guys, I'm sorry that I have such like, such an American pronunciation of Quebec, but it's just, there's nothing I can do about it. If I tried doing a French accent, it would just be criminal. So it's just, yeah. Anyways, so the way they divided up the rooms, like who was gonna like room together and stuff for this trip, basically when you brought the field trip money and permission slip to the French teacher, you could request to have a room with certain people so you could room with your friends. Lily and I almost had a room just for the two of us, like a whole big room instead of 4 people having to share 2 beds. We were going to have a room where we each got a bed and that was it because we were the last 2 people. However, there was one more person that did not have anybody to room with. And so obviously we were like, yeah, she can room with us. Like, why would we say no? That's rude. So we get to the hotel. All right, we get in there and everything. All fine and good. My aunt called the hotel and asked them if they could make a cake and put it in my room. Cause like I said, it was my 15th birthday. So this was so cute. It was like a chocolate mousse cake. And the little, like the white thing on top that says, happy birthday, Sarah, was white chocolate. It was so good. The blueberries were so good. Loved it. Now, listen, I am not judging, okay? But I'm gonna describe our roommate the way that she described herself. She was a self-proclaimed horse girl, our roommate. We did not know this ahead of time, but it's fine. Who cares? But it did make for a funny situation. Even though she said horse girl a lot of the time, like she used to gallop around the halls at school, she was giving more wolf girl to me on this trip, okay? And this is why. So, like I said, we thought originally when it was going to be just Lily and I in that room, we'd each have our own bed. But obviously with the third person, we were just going to let our other roommate take the one bed for herself, and then my friend and I were just going to share the other one. We get in there and we're about to, you know, like be like, okay, like we'll take this bed, like you can have that one. Our roommate, however, she was like, you guys can have both the beds. I'm going to sleep on the floor under the desk like my brother did when he came on this trip. We were like, are you sure? You don't want one of the beds? She was like, yeah, no, like down here's fine. Put her blanket and pillow under the desk. No objections from us, because then we each got a bed. We got dinner one night. Okay, like the whole group went out to dinner, and she refused to eat anything on the trip that wasn't red meat. The night that we got dinner was the first night there, I'm pretty sure, so I don't know how long she actually stuck to that, because from what I recall, we did not have any red meat options on the trip. I could be wrong, but she wouldn't eat food at the restaurant that wasn't red meat the first night that we went either. So I ended up getting her like slice of like cake. They gave everybody a slice of cake. She gave me her second one. I was like, this is the best roommate ever. There was also, this doesn't really have anything to do with the animals she was identifying as, but at some point I was like in the bathroom, like I took a shower and then brushed my teeth and still had the door closed while I was brushing my teeth. And she pushed Lily into the closet in our room and like held the door shut. Silly roommate things. I don't know. I really don't know about that one. I didn't get to witness it. I just had Lily's like recounting of it or whatever. Is that even a term? I was taking French. I don't even know English that well. But yeah, that was the room situation. I think we were in Quebec for 3 days. I think it was a 3-day trip. I might be wrong. It was 2 or 3, but I don't know how we would have packed everything into 2 days. So I'm pretty sure it was 3 days. Now, let's just get this out of the way now. All right, we got lost. At one point, our teacher took the whole group out of the hotel. All right, we're walking through Quebec City, and then eventually we got to like old Quebec, and she gave us like a 5-second tour of like the first 2 streets that we happened to mosey on down. And then she was like, okay, everybody, you know, you can pair off, group off, whatever. 2 hours, I think she gave us. Go shop, go walk around, go sightsee, go do whatever you want. No adult supervision. I don't know about that one. Like, it was fun at the time, because at the time we were like, yes, like we can go explore this city on our own. Like, we don't have to worry about anything. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Like, now that I'm an adult, I don't know. But anyways, Lily and I obviously go together to walk around. Now, they told us to go shop if we wanted. A lot of the stores were closed because it was like dinner time. So we couldn't really shop, but it's fine. Old Quebec is so gorgeous. I need to get back there at some point. I would have to relearn French, but I specifically want to go during the winter. There is just something about the snow on like the buildings and like the cobblestone streets. I don't know if it's actually cobblestone, but that's the best way I can describe it. Go look up pictures of old Quebec in the winter. It's stunning. It is my favorite place ever, actually, that like I've ever been besides LA. 2 polar opposites. I have somewhere to be during the winter and somewhere to be during the summer. Perfect. Anyways, we're walking around the city, okay? And it's getting kind of like close. We've got like 30 minutes left to get back to the hotel and meet with our teacher and the rest of our group. Listen, Lily was so nice. But the one thing about this girl, she couldn't keep her phone charged. She couldn't do it. So her phone died. And also, we were not the smartest 15-year-olds. We did not know the name of our hotel. I knew what like company it was, but we didn't know the name of it or how to ask somebody that only spoke French where it was. So we're now wandering around. I'm trying to use my GPS on my phone because my phone, I was so crazy about keeping my phone charged. So I've got my GPS open on my phone. We're starting to walk towards the hotel. Okay, I get it up. I figure out where it is. And then my phone shuts off. It shuts off. Because I don't even know if this is a thing because I never hear people talking about it. Or maybe if it was just something on old iPhones or I don't know. Maybe my phone was just weird. But, you know, sometimes your phone shuts off when it gets too hot. Like it'll stop letting you use it and it'll just stop. My phone had a separation between, hold on. My phone at the time had a little gap between like the phone's outer casing and the screen. Not like this case, like the literal like back case of the phone itself. It had a little gap there. And so my entire trip, it would just shut off because my phone was getting too cold. So I couldn't use my phone either. So we're wandering around the streets trying to figure out where to go. We don't know how to ask people for directions. It got so cold while we were walking around too. I was furious. And we had like the little heat pack things that you put in like your shoes and your gloves. We'd been out there for 2 hours. They were not warm anymore. And it was getting dark. So on top of just the normal winter cold, it was also dark. Our little heating packs were done and we were lost, wandering around the streets of Old Quebec. Somehow, we did eventually make it back to the hotel from the opposite direction. Like when we left Old Quebec, we should have just had a straight shot to the hotel forward, but we came at the hotel from the other side. So we left Old Quebec from a different area than we entered, walked around past where the hotel would have been, and eventually we just happened to recognize the street that our bus pulled like down when we got there in the first place. And we were like, there it is. We found it with 1 minute to spare. Guys, if you're ever going on a field trip, you need to learn where you're staying. And if you're going somewhere where you speak something that is not your first language, just learn a couple things like how to ask for directions just in case. Now let me just tell you some fun stuff that we did really quick during the trip. We went dog sledding. Can't for the life of me remember the name of this place, but I think they had like 200 huskies. Okay, this is a picture of me with one. Don't mention the blue hair. Don't. This is Pico. I loved Pico. Okay, I loved him. He was so cute. He was taller than me when he stood up. I loved him. And, you know, somebody else is obviously taking this picture. You want to know why somebody else is taking this picture? It's because I tried taking a selfie with Pico and my phone shut off because it was too cold. This was a different day than when we got lost. But yeah, we went dog sledding. I was too scared to drive the sled. The way that we were really independent on this trip. The way that the dog slides worked was you were going in groups of 2, all right? So Lily and I obviously went together, and halfway through like the sledding course, I don't know, track? I don't know what to call it. Halfway through that, you were supposed to switch people driving the sled. We got to the halfway point. I was like, girl, I'm not driving this thing. She was like, why not? I was like, because what if I direct them like into the snow or off the track? Like my anxiety. I was like, I can't do that. Like, oh my God, like what if they get hurt while I'm driving like the sled? Like I can't do it. So I didn't drive it. I let Lily drive it the whole time. And then when we got back, they were like, oh, how was it? I was like, I don't know. I didn't do it. I just rode on the sled. And they were like, well, the dogs know what to do. And I was like, I'm not taking a damn chance. I'm not taking a single one. But riding on the sled was fun. And then we also went snowshoeing. I don't remember most of that, either because it was just uneventful or because it was difficult. I kind of remember it being a workout to snowshoe. We also stopped at this one place. I think it was the very last thing we did on the trip. So the third day, probably. I don't remember the name of this place either, unfortunately. But we made maple syrup popsicles. Basically, they just had like a box of like snow and they poured maple syrup on it. And then you take like a popsicle stick and then just like turn the popsicle stick over the maple syrup, and the snow and the outside air, I'm assuming, start freezing the maple syrup so it turns into a maple syrup popsicle. They were having like the winter carnival going on. I don't know if Lily and I even went to it. I can't remember if you had to pay for it or not. We might have skipped that. But we did go on the really big sled. They have this really big sled right by the water that you can go on, or ice, I suppose, in this case. We went on this. That was fun. I loved Quebec. It's definitely top 3 field trips I've ever been on in my life. I've got 2 more places to tell you guys about, okay? Again, I'm back to not saying the French names of these because I'm gonna butcher them. So first we're gonna talk about the Ice Hotel. I'll put the actual name on the screen. I can't say it. So cool, okay? It's a hotel made of ice. They've got little igloos and stuff. They're so cute, and they all have different designs inside of them, which, if I'm not mistaken, I think every year, maybe, they have like professional sculptors and stuff come to the Ice Hotel and design the inside of all the rooms. It was so fun to see. Now, the last place we're going to talk about is this water park that they have. Now, obviously, during the warmer months, it's going to be a water park, but during the winter, when everything freezes and snows, they turn it into like a snow tubing park. This was the most fun part of the trip. So obviously it's too cold for water, all right? There's snow on all of the water slides now, and we got snow tubes and we're riding those down the water slides. So much fun. If you ever plan a trip, why did I just say it like that? Oh my God. If you ever plan a trip to or around Quebec, I would recommend going here, especially if it's during the winter. I haven't tried it during the summer, but I don't think that the summer would be able to even measure up to what it was like in the winter now. There was one with like one of like the really big snow tubes that you can go on. I don't know, there was like 5 or 6 of us on it, I think. I should have brought snow goggles because I had to keep my eyes closed most of the ride on that one because the snow tube was going so fast that it was having like little ice crystals from the snow fly up at your face, which also means that they're flying up at your eyes, which hurt. And I didn't have like skiing goggles or anything, so I had to keep my eyes closed most of the time on that one, but it was still really fun. The only downside to tubing is having to walk back up with tubes. Like, think when you go sledding, you got to carry the sled all the way back up the hill. At this place, they had, you know, at like water parks, because it is a water park, they have like the conveyor belts that you put like the lazy river rafts onto and it pulls them up. They had that, but what you were supposed to do was you were supposed to throw your snow tube onto like the conveyor belt and then jump on your snow tube. I feel like maybe I threw mine down and tried to, you know, jump onto it and then I fell off of it. I'm like 99% sure that happened and I tried to like repress it because it was so embarrassing, but it was happening to everybody, so it's really not that big a deal. Best part of the trip, it was so much fun. And then we went home. Then we went back home. Oh, also, I bought a sweatshirt and a winter hat while I was there. I have neither of them anymore, but I do have this mug that I got. Look how pretty! It's got like an iridescent like glaze to it. So cute. I love it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I upload new videos every single Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all the things. I always appreciate it. If you want to see any of the other places I exist, my Instagram and TikTok are both linked down below. I am very active on both of those. Have a good rest of your day, night, week, month, year, life, all of it. Bye!